So real quick before this video starts, I just wanted to say that if you hear some sort of noise in the background, there's a dude outside with a leaf blower at 9 o'clock at night. So yeah, I have no control over that, but let's get into the video. The 2021 playoffs have been really unpredictable would be a word to describe it, but I would say just more along the lines of just craziness. Because we've had a lot of close games, a lot of games that we thought were gonna go one way and then went the complete opposite direction. And on top of that, we've also had a lot of young players in this playoffs proving that they can perform like this at the highest level. Guys like Trae Young and Devin Booker, who a lot of people coming into the season would say that their numbers before this year were empty stats, which I personally just never understood that term whatsoever, but now we see Devin Booker going to the NBA Finals, and we have Trae Young on the bench. Yeah. And that's been a negative to this playoffs. A lot of stars that we were expecting to watch are not even playing. With guys like LeBron James and Anthony Davis playing through injuries, and with guys like Jamal Murray, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis, Trae Young, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden all sitting out for some time due to injury, yeah, this playoffs has not been great in terms of health, which has sparked some media narratives, and that's gonna actually be the topic of today's video, is the media narratives surrounding this playoffs. So today we're gonna be talking about some of the narratives that the media has created this playoffs, what each narrative means, and why they're all dumb. So let's get into the video. So real quick before we begin, only a small percentage of you guys that watch my videos are actually subscribed, so if you're watching this and you're not subbed, please feel free to hit that sub button. It only takes a split second and it helps out a lot. Also be sure to leave a like, that also helps out a lot. So like I said before, the media has had a complete stranglehold on this year's playoffs to the point where things that you thought wouldn't even be said are now somewhat of a common take. Let's start with player comparisons, because as you guys know, I am a Golden State Warriors fan and a Stephen Curry fan. Alright, it's the next day. I couldn't handle that guy last night. Pause. But anyway, as I was saying, as you guys probably know, I am a Golden State Warrior fan. I am a Stephen Curry fan. So you guys already know what comparison I'm about to talk about right now.
Would you say Trae Young's ceiling is actually higher than Steph's?
Yeah, in the playoffs, which is the only thing I care about. I don't care. See what Stephen A is doing right now? That's how I feel about the regular season. You know what the truth is? So does the league. Now, how many Western Conference Finals? Steph Curry, what is he, 32, 33 now? Now, how many Western Conference Finals he's played in? 5. You know how many Western Conference Finals games he's played in? 27, by my count. How many times he scored 48 points in a conference final? 0. How many conference finals games Trae Young has played in? Like, as soon as he gets there, the first time he gets there, game 1, does something Steph's never done in his entire career, because he's fearless under pressure. Steph is careless under pressure.
Yep. Mr. I Want Iguodala himself. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Double D, that's Max Kellerman. Are we really about to spend time talking about him? No, we're not. But my problem with takes like this is that basketball has a huge casual fan base, as with any sport. The casuals will far outweigh the hardcore fans like you and me that look at true shooting percentages and shit like that. That's all cool. The problem comes when these takes are shown to those casuals who don't have as much knowledge about the NBA, because then they start saying, oh yeah, he might be right. Then that take gains traction, it goes all over the place, and then people like me see these takes everywhere, and we need to make videos that we never thought we would ever have to make. Take the Damian Lillard is better than Steph Curry argument from last season. Yeah, remember that? That didn't last long. Literally 8 games was enough to get people to start going along with that take. And that's the part that confused me, because there are still comments on that video that I made back then telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, Dame is clearly better. And this is what I worry about, although it didn't appear that too many people were going along with the Trae Young take, which is good. Also, I gotta say this. You're not doing Trae Young any favors by continuing to compare him to arguably the second greatest point guard of all time, and for sure probably the best point guard of all time in terms of talent. Trae Young has gotten Steph Curry comparisons since he was in college due to his ability to shoot off the dribble and his quick release. That's literally it. That's all they have in common. If you've watched Trae Young at all, you'd be able to see that they're just two completely different players. So the comparison itself never really made any sense. But before we leave this topic, I just want to ask, Max, if Steph Curry is the playoff choker that you constantly say he is, why is it that every time a point guard has a great game in the playoffs, who are you comparing him to? Yep. That's just a question. But let's move on to the man himself, Christopher Emmanuel Paul. Now, man, I know we had our differences in the past, you know, the Clippers and Rockets rivalries, but all of that is behind us. The opportunity is right in front of you. Go get your ring. That being said, Chris Paul being in this position has created some disgusting narratives. Let's start with this. So, as most of you know, before the conference finals started, Chris Paul had tested positive for Charlie Oscar Victor India Delta, and so the Clippers and Suns series had been pretty much evened out with Kawhi Leonard missing time. So Devin Booker goes on to have one of the greatest games in Phoenix Suns history by putting up a 40-point triple-double in Game 1, showing everybody that he was here to stay for a long time. And so, what was the first headline that I saw after that game? Oh, that's so sweet, thanks for asking. This was the first headline that I saw after that game. Royce Young from ESPN titled his article, "Chris Paul wasn't there, so Devin Booker just played like Chris Paul." What? What does that even mean? And that's probably my most hated narrative this playoffs apart from one, which we'll get to, but there's literally something that everybody is tweeting, and it's true. People all over Twitter right now are saying that the media is talking about Chris Paul like he taught the entire team how to play basketball. And I definitely won't deny the impact that Chris Paul has had on any team he's ever been on, but it's nowhere near what they're trying to say. After Game 2, in which DeAndre Ayton had 24 points and 14 rebounds, this is what they had to say about his performance.
They couldn't rattle him. He played with the spirit, but he played with the spirit and the intellect of Chris Paul.
Yes.
That tutoring every day, all those practices. Ayton, how do you think Ayton's this good from October to now? Yes, Monty Williams can be Coach of the Year. Yes, 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 yes. Chris Paul is the reason that Ayton is that.
And this is the problem, because these guys have played out of their minds. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, even Cameron Payne. But it doesn't matter because Chris Paul gets all the credit. And again, I don't hate Chris Paul anymore. My problem is with the media and the narratives that they're trying to push, which brings me to my last topic and talking point from them. Are you f***ing kidding me? It's 6:20. The sun is still out. Which brings me to my last topic and talking point from the NBA media this playoffs. The playoffs are boring or unwatchable because so-and-so isn't here.
Someone said, y'all doing this for ratings. Let me tell you a little secret about television. Talking about Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets is not good for ratings, folks. That's not how you bring in the most vast audience, is by talking about the Joker and the Nuggets.
I don't even think I need to explain myself on this one. Nick, shut the f*** up, because believe it or not, this is actually the type of playoffs that a lot of people have been waiting for. Because whether you like it or not, we're entering the end of an era, and that's just how time works. Great players get older and decline, newer players step up and take their place. Now, I'm not saying that anybody is going to quote-unquote replace LeBron James. That's a top 2 player in the history of the game. But to just completely write off what's been an amazing playoffs with a lot of surprises, that's where I'm gonna stop you. Because eventually, there will be a point where LeBron, Steph, KD, all those guys aren't in the league anymore. It might take 10 years for LeBron to retire, but that time will eventually come. And so I actually feel that this playoffs was desperately needed to show people that the league is going to be in good hands after they're gone. But anyway, that's about it for me. I want to know what you guys have thought about this playoff so far, and also what you thought about some of the narratives that you've seen. Let me know what you think. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new, hit the bell to be notified when I upload. Comment down below what you want to see next, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.